Welcome to the Experience Engine podcast. I'm Graham Crichton, a photographer with nearly 20 years experience in all different areas of the photography industry.
And I'm Hannah Crichton, a client happiness manager who specialises in making sure every client experience is a great one.
Join us for this podcast where each episode will deep dive into how to elevate your creative business, from being one that's all about product to being one that's all about clients. Hi, I'm Graham.
And I'm Hannah, and this is the Experience Engine podcast. So, Graham, what have you been up to this week?
Well, Hannah, it's January and you can get the January blues, but we've been quite quiet this week in the studio. So it's been a great opportunity to sit down, reassess, and look even more at what client experience is. Today, we're talking about something that sounds simple, but is incredibly powerful, giving people more than they expect.
Not more for the sake of it, not freebies, not gimmicks.
Yeah, you know what I think about freebies and discounts, Hannah, but moments, thought, and care, these are the things that people remember and they talk about long after they've left.
Graham, I was watching YouTube there the other day and they were talking about expectations, and it got me thinking that the biggest impact often comes from doing just a little bit more than people expect.
That's very true, Hannah, because I know that in our studio, that's exactly how we think about the client experience.
People don't remember the transactions, but they do remember those moments.
And if you understand that, it completely changes how you approach what you do. One thing that we want to be really, really clear about, and I have to be clear about this, that this isn't about giving things away for nothing.
No, it's about reading the room.
We often upgrade products quietly when clients have already spent what they're comfortable spending, not to upsell to them and not to show off. This is a really useful client experience tool.
We understand that clients have reached their cap, that they've trusted us, and that's when generosity makes sense.
And if someone's sitting there after spending a good chunk of change saying, I'd love that for my mum, and you know that they can't stretch any further, that's your moment.
That's when you decide, do I squeeze a bit harder or do I elevate?
And when you elevate, the gratitude you get back is enormous because it wasn't expected. That's your moment. During that moment, we say, hey, I get that. I wouldn't want them to go without that. And you know what? That's on me. That's what's remembered. Not the £2,000 or the $4,000 sale. It's that moment that's remembered. The fact that you were human and you understood that. You read the room.
This is the key thing. People are people.
They're not line items on an invoice. They're not averages. And they're not the client.
They're human beings having real moments in their lives.
And sometimes those moments are heavy. And everything you do impacts those moments and their memories. There was a lady who came into us a few months ago, and her entire family had been in for a portrait previously a couple of years ago after her husband had been diagnosed with cancer. And it's at that time like that what we do has even more importance to the client. Her husband was dying, and she came back recently to us with her grandson and asked if I would take a portrait just of him, just to be beside his granddad's bed. And of course, that wasn't a problem.
Yeah, she was really emotional. She was quiet, and you could really feel how much that photograph was going to mean to her.
At the end, she asked me how much it would cost, and there was no question. We were not going to be charging her anything. Yes, I know that doesn't make business sense necessarily, but you may be a business, but the great thing about being a small business or a solopreneur is that you call the shots. You make the choices. And you decide how the client experience will be.
Because sometimes the decent thing to do is just the decent thing to do. That photograph wasn't a product. It was a moment in someone's life. It was building up a lifelong relationship.
And then she called into the studio again a month after her husband had passed away. And she told me that this was the first time that she had left the house since that he had passed away. And she wanted us to be the first people that she came to see to thank us for our kindness.
And that tells you something important. Realistically, that cost us nothing but our time and a couple of pounds for printed photographs.
We mean more to people than we realise. And through client experience, you can also do good. We can make that experience and people's lives easier.
Of course, we see this a lot with pets too.
Yeah, when someone calls and says that their dog's very ill or that they've got a vet appointment coming up, we don't treat that like a normal shoot. We turn it into a celebration. We put the fizz on ice, we get some fancy pastries from down the road and some fancy treats for the dog, don't forget. You want to create a bit of an atmosphere.
Not because it's flashy, but because you can then reframe that moment.
It turns something that could feel purely sad into something fun. The moments we remember and cherish are those moments where people made us feel special.
And the images, they often become the most important photographs those people will ever own.
And again, this doesn't cost much.
It's thought. That's it.
This is something I want people to really understand. Everything that we do is theatre. And that doesn't mean that it's fake, but it does need to be rehearsed.
Yeah, we're getting back to what we said in the last episode, that you can't fake warmth, but you can practice it.
And every client interaction is a performance. It's a genuine one, but it's still a performance. And for every client, it's opening night.
You're setting a scene, you're creating a mood. Think about your childhood. What do you remember?
You remember the experiences, and the experience we give our clients shape what they're going to think of us and what they're going to tell others.
Even something as simple as tea or coffee.
People underestimate this massively.
If you go to your Mercedes dealership and you're looking to buy one of their expensive cars, yes, the car matters, but that complimentary cup of tea or coffee or a soft drink just makes it so much more.
Or a barber who gives you a beer while you're getting your haircut. Suddenly, it's not just a haircut.
It's an experience, but sure, thank goodness you only get one beer, Graham.
And those little touches, that will allow you to charge more because you're giving more. Not more stuff, but more experience. Join us on our Facebook group, the Experience Engine Podcast Group, for show notes, bonus content, and ask us questions about this episode. We believe sharing is caring, so we want to hear from you. Sorry, Hannah, I was drinking my cup of tea.
So here's the question for everyone listening.
Where could you give just a little bit more than expected?
Not every time and not for everyone.
But at the moments that matter.
Where could you be a little bit more human?
Where could you pause and think, what does this person actually need right now?
That's where experience lives.
Giving people more than they expect isn't about generosity for show. It's not about the socials.
It's about thought, timing, and empathy.
And when you get that right, those people don't forget you.
They remember you, they come back, and more importantly, they tell their friends. A great client experience breeds referrals. Next time on the Experience Engine podcast.
The decision you never see. In the next episode, we're talking about the decision clients make before they ever contact you. The quiet decision. The decision that happens on their own late at night, scrolling, comparing, hesitating. We'll break down how people form opinions about you without speaking to you. Why most creatives never realize they've already lost the clients at this stage, and what actually makes someone feel confident enough to get in touch. This isn't about websites or marketing tactics. It's about understanding how people read between the lines, what reassures them, and what puts them off without them ever saying a word.
Follow us on Instagram at The Experience Engine or visit us at grahamcrichton.com/engine.
I'm Graham.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is The Experience Engine.